Did you get that?
Well dodgy.
Hello and welcome to Bonus Action Heroes. I am your DM, Veronica, for this week's stream of Curse of Strahd. As usual, this is a gothic horror campaign and may include themes and content that people find disturbing. Previously, what went down? Do you want to tell Alessander in character? Assumably he was kind of there, just not saying anything. What are people's thoughts?
I think we can go with like it being canon that he's just so traumatized by meeting Luca that he can't remember like the past 24 hours or however long it's been.
He's
just
not
like
that bad.
Selective amnesia.
Well, the party travelled to the town of Krezk, where they know there is an abbey, and they travelled to that abbey in the hopes that there would be a cleric there that could help Absence with his
Dying issue?
Sure. His dying issue. And then it turned out that an old friend had been resurrected and was staying there, although he did not remember, and that was Cedric, who died in the very first episode that we streamed, now Luca, as named by the abbot. And that's not where the surprises stopped. There were lots of, you might call them experiments, you might call them Frankenfolk, I don't know. People that he had raised from the dead, the abbot had raised from the dead, with additional body parts. So that has been interesting. Hazel was not here for that. So when you weren't here last week, we met all of the inhabitants, a little tour of the abbey, which posed some interesting moral conundrums. And we monitored Absence whilst he slept, and the abbot was correct in his hunch. It was a night hag that was causing him to have nightmares, and the source of his dying issue, whereby he kept waking up with fewer hit points. It looks like by casting a Protection from Good and Evil spell as she appeared, that he wasn't better off, he wasn't fixed, but he didn't lose any more, so that may be a solution for the meantime. He then headed back down to Krezk with Luca, after some back and forth with the abbot not wanting him to go, to find
Controlling
that
much? Sorry.
find that they have received a note, which I will get up on the screen, warning them of an impending werewolf attack, to which they learned that from the Burgomaster, who has some knowledge of werewolves because he knows that they live in proximity to them, that they are only harmed by silver. Their normal weapons do no good. So they went to the pool where they had previously been, where it's rumoured that if you throw a silver in and make a prayer, that sometimes that prayer will be granted. And they have harvested all of the silver from that pool. Magus turned into a beaver. Yeah. And Luca did the I can walk underwater trick because I don't have to actually breathe. And you have harvested, I put this down in a note somewhere for you, an amount of silver. Silvering weapons, there you go. Show players. Did I show you the note from Black Wolf? Did that come up? Cool. And that's where we left you, at the side of the pool, having harvested all of that silver. It's now... Oh, goodness. You went back down in the morning, you did all that just after lunchtime. That's how you spent your morning, diving in and out of the pool. What would you like to do?
Do we know when the full moon is actually going to be?
Yes, it is the day after tomorrow. Again, let me show you a thing.
Okay.
Actually, now I'm looking at that. How many days are there in September? It's 30, not 31, isn't it?
It's not so. No, in Faerun, there's 30 days in every month. Weirdly, I'm pretty sure. All the months have exactly the same number of days, so it's not like the Earth.
Move everything back a day. It's the day after tomorrow.
Could be wrong there, but because they have 10 days and there's 3 10 days in a month, I believe.
Well, I'm already editing the document, so... There you go.
Luca also found the helmet at the bottom of the pool.
You did. Sorry, thank you.
Just because we brought that up a few minutes before we started the stream. The lovely gold helmet that totally doesn't look like it came from a different franchise.
I put the picture. Look at all these things I have to show you.
So, for the time being, Luca is holding the helmet, but he is walking around very uncertain of what to do with it. So, I suppose we have to figure out how we're going to divide up all this silver for Downsguard and a few other elements of preparation. One of the women talking to the Burgomaster was talking about looking to find somewhere to put the children so they would be safe when Bell was attacked. Would be a horrible walk, but we could probably get the abbot to take some of them in. Can't imagine the werewolves would go that far up there.
Perhaps we'd be better to lock them in a cage or the jail or something sturdy.
I feel like carry on. No, you proceed.
If we focus on defending the town, if we can stop them from getting in, that should be our main focus. We need to take advantage of the situation we're in. Got good walls, good at keeping people out. We should fight them at a distance.
I'm not sure if that's going to be possible with werewolves. I don't think a wall's going to stop them.
Then we need to get rid of them before they even get to the walls.
Have you fought them before?
No.
Me
Well, that's
either.
why I don't want to fight them up close.
Well, something you will have to decide then is, do you go out and fight them before they attack the town? Or do you wait for them to come here? Or do you take the time to try and find the diamond dust that you wanted to help Absence?
Yes, you found out that the abbot thought he could restore some of the health that Absence has lost by with a spell that requires a diamond as a material component.
And so we know that silver will kill werewolves. Do we know if there's any, like, a particular thing, like decapitation, stabbed through the heart, anything like that, or is it just silver?
The Burgomaster will have just said when they have come across them before using their regular weapons, they seem to do absolutely no damage. They didn't pierce the skin. It was the silver that pierced the skin. None of them have used are magic users, so you don't know about that. And when they killed them by regular means, crossbow bolts and short swords, and they didn't decapitate or burn them or anything, and they didn't seem to come back.
Okay.
That being said, they're now retaliating, which is worse in a way.
I wonder if they'd have left them alone if they hadn't killed them.
Why did they kill them in the first place?
Why did who kill who?
Why did the townsfolk have to kill the werewolves in the first place? Were they under attack?
The townsfolk, because of their dwindling supplies, well, they know that livestock are being stolen. And after
Werewolves were
interviewing
taking
everyone,
livestock.
they think it's werewolves. They haven't seen it, they believe it's werewolves. So they went to Lake Baratok and waited out there because the townsfolk wanted some sort of action. They were worried for their future and came across a woman who, after some questioning, did reveal herself to be a werewolf, and they killed her there.
So I get the feeling that the letter from the Black Wolf is a challenge or a warning.
Perhaps the Black Wolf is the werewolf.
Also, because
It
Hayes
doesn't-
wasn't here. Sorry.
Well, perhaps the Black Wolf is a werewolf but doesn't wish to be.
The note was found in the tent of when they were clearing up the refugees were clearing up their camp that morning. It was addressed to a person called Adira Yelensky, and then Adira let the Burgomaster know, and the town are now in the process of building defences, gathering silver from items that they have in their homes.
So Adira was a refugee.
No, Adira was a
No.
person in town, but it was
Okay.
found in the camp that the refugees had.
Okay. Was this the camp that the refugees had within the town or outside of the town?
Outside of the town, where you came
Okay.
across them.
Well, we have all of the silver. Shall we take it to the Burgomaster? You can stop and ask any questions you have along the way.
Pause a moment. Matt, anyone? Can we work out why Tom can't get in?
He perhaps needs to clear his cache.
I shall try that.
Or just close your browser and reopen.
Check users again. Yeah, you're a player, so it can't be that. You want to go back to the town? Let me get in.
I can see your name to log in now, so it looks like you've been kicked.
Been a while since Foundry didn't like me.
Wow.
Don't say that.
Hello, grey screen.
Hooray.
Anyway, the townsmith is the burgomaster's wife. You can take all of that silver to her, and she will be very grateful. As usual, this is a horror campaign and may include themes and content silver that people find disturbing. Previously, silver. What went down? I don't know how we. Do you want to tell Alessander in character? My husband, assumably, he was kind of there. Want some weapons? Just not saying anything. Give our guards weapons. But in 2 days, this is going to be a big task.
Your normal defences are that. Do you generally focus on archers and distance, or?
Yes, with the wall, we usually, when we have some, the silver that we had, we used for crossbow bolts.
Do you have any left over?
No. Back in. I will take you to the smith.
Sorry, I'm just looking through my spells really quickly. So Lucas generally in the corner just being like, I don't need silver, particularly. I have magic. But Darzan will be somewhere else going, a bit of silver in my rapier wouldn't really go amiss.
I mean, I can be a pretty good shot with a crossbow, but I'm just as good with a sword.
Why are we in this?
The forge is out the back of their house.
Oh.
I think I might have one or two things up my sleeve that might help. I might even be able to turn them back again to people what they were before they were werewolves.
I guess what exactly do you mean?
Well, I don't really know, but for some reason I think I know that one of you remember when we were up at the hill and I made that beam from the moon come to the ground? Well, I reckon if they go in that, I can turn them back to people. I don't know why I know that they do that, but they just can. I think.
I've heard that the moon does hold sway over them, and yes, that might work.
The Burgomaster will have seen you walking through town with buckets of silver and show up as well. Thank you for all of this. This is going to be really helpful. Are you going to stay and help defend the town, or are you perhaps going out there? Or are you doing nothing at all, which would be very disappointing?
Well, there was some debate about going out to try and find something to help one of the group, but it might be delayed with the werewolf problem.
Don't know how strong you are. You are the only adventurers I have come across in many years, but if you think you could take them, if we could not risk any bloodshed to my people, it would be my preference, but we don't know how many there are. I don't know if what I would be asking is a suicide mission, or I'm just speaking out loud. I apologize. I would come with you, if you wished it. I am a good fighter.
Between us, who actually needs a weapon? There's me.
I'm not really. I'm not fond of them, to be honest.
Matt's all like, oh, absence. Sorry. Darzin does have a weapon.
He doesn't have a good weapon, and he does have magic, but most of his magic is utility. And then
I don't know.
Luca's all magic.
Is it worth silvering a staff for absence?
I have this spear, but I don't know if this spear is going to hurt them.
So I'm trying to do the math, because if we go out there, we've got enough silver for 5 weapons or 50 pieces of munitions. So if we need short sword, rapier, and spear, so that's 3, which leaves 2 kind of bundles of silver, which could either do 2 more weapons or 20 pieces of munitions. Alexander's still pretty good with a crossbow. And that would give us a bit of distance.
I will throw into that. Absence's spear is magical, so doesn't need to be silvered.
Okay.
It doesn't say it's magical on the
Just
card.
listen to the DM. Just take it from the DM.
It's got an ability, but on the actual.
Oh, then I've not built it right.
There's one in items, but it's different to the one in my bag. It does say necrotic.
Just need to mark it as magical, don't I?
Yeah, I can do that.
Something as well. This will be Dawson piping up is, if you're going to go out and try and contend with all the werewolves, I would be happy to remain here and try and keep the townspeople calm, especially if we're going with the burgomaster. Try and keep everyone in a bit of good cheer with music, and see what I can do with the townspeople and maybe the abbot, even though he's a little weird.
If we're going into battle, we'll need as many people as possible.
Yeah, they need to fight for their own town. I don't see why it's us all the time that have to
I
bail
understand
everybody
why
out.
you might want to stay behind, but
If we do this for them, then they need to make more effort to help those who are homeless.
I'm trying to avoid having to play 2 characters for the next 6 months.
well, tough shit.
Will one of you just sod off? But seriously, we need, if we're going to help them, this seems to happen everywhere we go. We end up bailing everyone out of their own problems, but they're not willing to let people that are starving in. So we need some conditions if we're going to help. How many people have we lost already? How many times have we almost died? They need to do more if they want us to do more. No amount of passive-aggressive, that's disappointing if you don't help, stuff is going to convince me. They need to take action if they want us to.
Are you saying this in earshot?
I'm
of
just
the
saying out
burgomaster?
loud, yeah. Absence is going to be looking a bit annoyed.
The case you make is absolutely fair. And if we are without threat from the werewolves, we should be able to absolutely keep these refugees safe within our walls as permanent citizens. Hell, we may be dining on wolf for the winter. Well, it's
That may not be a good idea.
a form of cannibalism potentially, and
Not just that.
All goes back
never.
to cannibalism.
Eating cursed meat cannot be good.
No, you're right. Maybe they will have rations of their own that we can take.
Maybe.
And your friend Magus has helped us immeasurably with our crops. That is already an improvement.
You're welcome. Just need a bit of encouragement, that's all.
Okay. Well, this spear then should be effective.
If we are going to
Oh, is it just me? Hazel's gone weird.
Hazel's cutting out.
I'm always weird. I don't know if I'm cutting out. Don't know what's going on. Oh, my dancing has been witnessed. Can you hear me okay now if I come back? Okay. So, if we are going to take part in this fight, I would at least want my short sword to be silvered. If possible, some arrows would be beneficial.
Arrows?
I think so. If I can get 10 arrows or 10 crossbow bolts for the same as being able to silver one weapon, that could be if it goes well, 10 down before they even reach us.
That's very optimistic, but your enthusiasm is admirable.
He is a good shot, to be fair.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Then I would be glad to make you arrows or bolts. Which would you prefer?
Well, it depends on how much silver we've got left over from the other weapons that are required.
I don't need one.
Darzin, are you coming with us or are you staying behind?
Well, I guess I'm going to have to come with you, aren't I?
Or at least be on the wall so that you can support us from a distance if we are out there. Depending on where we're going to fight.
I'll come along for this, I suppose.
Don't have to. You can move along to Luca if you wish.
No, you have to.
Just pick one.
No, and we need a cleric with us.
No, you're right. Luca would be more useful to you. I'll stay here then.
Oh, we need both of you, really.
Oh, you really don't. All
yes,
I can do.
Yes, we do.
All I can do is sass people to be very openly gay, with the occasional bit of magic.
But there's power and safety in numbers, and you may be able to distract them. I take it the werewolves will act much like...
Look after the children and make sure they're safe.
Their parents can look after the children. The last time we left him to look after children, he made them cry.
A lot of the parents are guards.
Yeah, well, maybe he can look after them but not talk to them.
Ingrid will look after the children.
I'm actually fine around children most of the time.
Then why in the world did you make the orphans cry?
Because I don't want the children to like me.
Then why in the world would we leave you in charge of children who need you the most at that time?
Well, I don't want the children to like me, because I don't...
So you're traumatized then?
Barovia's a shit place, and I want to have kids of my own. I don't want to get attached to kids that I'll want to take with me.
I'm not sure I quite believe you, but...
Well, none of you have really believed me for most of the time I've been here, so what difference does it make?
Because you lie! So...
The problem with lies, they catch up with you. Even if they're well-intentioned. And I think yours were. I think his were well-intentioned. You said it yourself, Alexander. Cedric said it. This place changes people. Darzin's been here longer than anyone. It's amazing it's not done more damage to him, really.
How are we going to fight the werewolves? What is our plan?
I think we need to try and funnel them through somewhere so that we only have to fight one at a time.
Have you considered having a debate with the werewolves?
No.
Do you want us to offer to parley?
I mean, you're talking as if they're just mindless and bloodthirsty.
No, I think they're probably very intelligent and bloodthirsty.
Oh. They just may be slighted for the previous one that was murdered.
But they've also been taking the livestock that this town is dependent on and risking the lives of everyone within it.
From what the Burgomaster has said, the idea that the werewolves have been taking their livestock is circumstantial at best. It's not guaranteed it's been the werewolves taking it. The werewolves might
Okay.
have faced retribution for something they never did in the first place.
I can assure you it is none of the people in this town, so what else could it be?
I don't know this place well enough to make a guess.
The abominations that we like above table, the abominations or the creations or the Franken folk that we have met, what have they been made out of? Do any of them look like livestock?
No.
Okay. Just checking.
Also, the Anna Krezk, the Burgomaster's wife, will say, "We all know it is the werewolves. Why are we conjecturing?"
No idea. If they attack, then we defend ourselves. If they don't attack, then there's nothing to defend. I think they will attack.
I mean, if they're coming here, they're not likely to just stand up, walk around, and turn back again, are they? Gone to all that effort, they'll certainly try and attack. Just have to put them off somehow.
If they don't attack, then yeah, we'll let Darzin talk to them. If he thinks he can.
Oh, that was Luca talking, not Darzin.
Oh, you both sound very similar.
Sorry,
Sorry,
I've intentionally tried to draw up the accent for Luca today, just so you could try and distinguish them a bit better. But no, I think that your strange priest boy is kind of. I don't know. I think he's maybe a little bit too optimistic that werewolves would be happy for mediation. But
Exactly, this is the Anna. But they are beasts. Why would they be wanting to talk when so far all they have done is take without asking? It makes no sense to go in diplomatically.
at which point Luca would just be like, I am the ragdoll equivalent of a human, and I'm the one suggesting mediation. So appearances don't necessarily mean anything.
Sure how you negotiate with a beast, Luca.
No, I reckon just as long as you don't throw the first arrow, as it were, or punch, or whatever you want to do, you can be certain of their intent. If you let them come here and stand there and just don't let them enter, if they start attacking, then that's their intent. That's how you know. Otherwise, leave them be. I mean, you're just defending what's yours. That's all. Survival, innit? Lots of territorial things out there. Need to defend their range, their prey, everything. But don't mean they're bad. There's no judgment there. If they're a beast, they got to eat too. Who knows? If they show up, start attacking, you give them a bit of a bloody nose, you might turn around, and bugger off somewhere else.
Likely to return though, and without warning, maybe.
Depends on how bloody their nose is. Might be easy to hunt somewhere else.
For the sake of having all of the players in one place, Ingrid, who you've previously met, who is a young woman with blonde hair, and a woman that you don't recognize, will come round the back of the house and say, "Oh, Burgomaster, we have been looking for you. Your wife does not agree that we should put the children in your cellar, but I cannot think of anywhere else that is protected within the town unless we were to take them out of the town, which feels like a very bad idea, and Adira wants to speak with you also."
The Abbey, Luca will say in the background.
Oh, is the Abbey safe? I know you
Yes.
said you were going up there.
Also, hello, please don't mind my face.
Are you okay? Oh, what are
Yes.
you?
Human, I believe. I was dead, but I got better.
Don't get me wrong. I don't know if the children would be more scared down here or up there.
They may well be more scared up there, but they would be safer.
I can take a look at the Abbey if you believe this is a good solution, Burgomaster. You've only told me a bit about the Abbey. How many of them are there up there?
I think about 16, 18.
And with all due respect, sir, they all like yourself.
I think I am one of the few that is. I don't know quite how to phrase it. I'm one of the few that is the most recognizably human.
There's a funny assortment of folks up there, but I don't think the abbot would see any harm done to no children.
No, the abbot wouldn't do anything untoward.
It is difficult. If we put them in the cellar, then if things go badly, they are near the gates to potentially run. Whereas if things go badly here, they are trapped in the Abbey.
There was a funny assortment of folks, that's for sure, but I reckon that they seemed the sorts that would see no harm done to no young'uns, all of them. I think they would all probably try and keep them safe. I think probably the safest place for them, to be fair.
I agree. I'm confident in their safety in the Abbey.
I won't ignore your counsel. They don't need to be moved yet. Ingrid, if you can go to the Abbey, perhaps with one of you, speak with the abbot, make sure that you are in agreement with them, and then we will move the children, if so.
That'll be the moment where Dawson was like, I'll do that, because seeing as it's Ingrid, who recognized him earlier.
Thank you. I'm not much of a... I'm not very good with what everyone else is doing. I would go now if you are free, or are you helping?
No, we can go now.
Okay. This is good.
Those two will still waddle off, I presume, into the middle distance, whilst everyone else is still talking.
You're welcome. And
Thank you.
So I can't remember what we decided. Was we staying here and helping, or was we buggering off and seeing if we can find out what things for your troubles absence?
I think my troubles can wait. Don't you?
It's up to you. I don't mind.
They're willing to help people, then I don't see why we shouldn't help them. I think the ideal situation would be to capture these things so that we figure out how to cure them, or at least lock them up during the full moon or whatever it may be.
I am familiar with the spell that will keep you safe from the hag at night as well. So if you want to delay getting the diamonds for you, I can still keep you in some relative peace at night.
I think the abbot showed Magus how to do it.
Yeah, he also demonstrated what spell it was too. So either of us could do it, which is good because I don't actually have that spell prepared at the moment.
Did
So
you?
invited.
The woman with brown hair that came along with Ingrid will pipe up. Did you say you were thinking of going to the werewolves to parley?
Personally, that is my preference, but everyone else seems a little more dubious.
Do you know where they are?
Well, previously the hunters found them. That's that female wolf by Lake Baratok. I don't know where they go from. But if I may, I think one of them is... I think the person who wrote the note might be my husband.
Okay.
I
And
think
he's a good person.
Of course.
That's why he's warned us.
Absolutely. The note said, hide the children. We have a baby. We had it before he turned his... And then he exiled himself.
So if we are going to talk to them, if we do, if they're like other wolves, then they need to know they can hunt. So if you folk aren't willing to share certain things, then they're best fighting them off and pushing them on somewhere else. But if you are willing to share some small things, some cattle or something, they might be compromised. Otherwise, there's not much you can do. So what are you folks willing to share? Does that make sense? Am I making sense?
Does make sense.
We have enough to go round as it is, unless... If you can keep doing that trick, we could live on vegetables, maybe.
I don't think these people have enough cows to feed werewolves every month, I guess.
Yeah.
If that's the suggestion.
In the spring,
Can these
maybe.
werewolves, can they turn back and forth, or are they always like beasts?
I do not know. The one that we saw in the forest went from human to werewolf. But that is the only one we have properly experienced. We've seen them from the walls before, but they have never come with us seeing within them in my lifetime.
I mean, I can't help but thinking, like I said earlier, there's all strange folks up at the Abbey, and they seem to be helping each other out and living in a bit more like family up there. So, I mean, if these folks who used to be your kin, but now are exiled, if they were to be here and able to help and manage the crops and manage the cattle and be part of the town, it's only going to help, isn't it? I mean, if they can go all beastly, anybody off from attempting to take things from the town too.
I have listened to your counsel regarding the Abbey, but I am not letting werewolves run within my city walls. Absolutely not. There is compromise and then there is suicide.
Well, what if you could lock them in silvered cages around the full moon so they can't do any harm?
What if one of them got loose? It would just take one to potentially take the whole city.
They're loose now.
I mean, you're the boss here, and it's up to you. I'm just speaking out of ignorance. I don't know what these werewolves are like, but I'm just trying to find a way that you folks can live in peace. Plus, to be honest, I can't stay here and do what I did all the time on your crops. You need more hands here to tend them.
We have enough hands. It is just the weather is difficult here. We are near the mountains. It's the coldest part of Barovia. Look, if you think you're going to maybe leave, try to find their den, I don't know, try to kill them, try to parley, I will come with you, and then any parleying can be done with me there, not on my behalf.
That seems fair.
You'll see that the kid who is tending the forge just look up and whisper in his mum's ear. He looks worried. I say kid. He's
And Alexander off a bit by himself with Graham, please.
Yes.
Once he's kind of out of earshot, he's Graham, I'm going to see if we can find a little bakery. If we can get you some snacks, I have a favour to ask of you. Would that be okay?
What the favour is, but to be honest, if there's snacks involved, the answer is very likely to be yes.
Okay. I'll turn back to the others and kind of shout so we heard. I'll return shortly. And I will go find a bakery or somewhere that has something that might be sweet that Graham will like.
You can ask around the townsfolk who don't really have time for your shit, but after a while you might find someone who says, Miriam looks after the pantry, so she might have something in there. And they'll point you in the right direction. And it's elderly. You come to the house of an elderly woman. She's not really helping with the efforts that are going on elsewhere around town. She's in a home with 2 of the Velaki refugees that they've taken in. How can I help you, my dear?
Well, I'm sorry to be a bother to you. I was wondering, and I know it's probably quite a luxury here, if you had any sweetbreads or anything of that kind of sort that I might be able to buy from you.
Buy here, but you do look thin. Just wait there a moment. Just a snack?
Yes, if possible.
I think I have just the thing. And she'll totter off. To be fair, these are very small homes, so she probably just goes to a corner of her kitchen and she'll take out some bread that's going a bit stale and some sort of fruit preserve and hand you a jam sandwich.
How much would you want for this? And he'll start getting some coins out of his pocket.
We don't need anything, dear.
No, a good deed deserves to be paid in full. And
Then come back and tell me a story of your journey sometime.
I very much appreciate your kindness. Sorry about my manners. I do apologize. My name is Alexander. I heard that your name was Miriam?
Miriam Chiswick, yes.
It's lovely to meet you. And I will...
Arzin popped in briefly. He stayed with us when he came here a couple of weeks ago when he was passing through.
A couple of weeks ago? Okay.
Was it a couple of weeks ago? Help me out here.
It would have been like 2 or 3 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe nearer 3, yeah.
Oh, well, a friend of Darcy's would be a friend of mine. Very confused as to what he's saying right now. Though you will know him better than we will, probably, if he stayed with you.
He only stayed the night, but he told some wonderful stories, and the songs very much cheered up the children. They were happier than I have seen them in a long time.
It's good to hear. Well, I will hopefully return, and hopefully also share with you some brighter stories.
You're always welcome, my dear.
I will leave. I will find a quiet space outside where no one can see. And Graham, who is invisible on my shoulder right now, I will break up a little bit of... in my head, it's a honey sandwich. And I will give him a little bit of bread and honey and see what he thinks.
Oh, the minute you're out of the door, you can feel this invisible form clambering over your arms and trying to get at it.
So I'll break it down into, like, Graham-sized pieces. And as we are walking back to find the others, I'll feed it to him. When we get a bit closer and he's finished the sandwich, I'll ask him if he can go scout out and find signs of the werewolves, and maybe, if he can, an idea of how many there are. They should be attacking the day after tomorrow, so I would prefer it if he would take. So 1 second. So we're kind of afternoonish time today.
Afternoon, yeah, like let's say 1.
So if he feels safe, we can have all of tomorrow to explore. I don't know how long this is going to take, but has to return tomorrow night. Otherwise, I'll go to find him. And see if he's willing to do that.
Fly and look, but I don't know what I'm... Well, I know what I'm looking for, but I don't know how to track and stuff like that.
Well, you fly and you look, and I'll explain to him about the lake and that there were people there before. You just follow what you can, and I'm sure you'll do brilliantly. Any information is useful. Even if it's no information, that still tells us something. And the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And then the more money we can earn to be able to buy you more treats. Does that seem okay?
Can I only come back when I found them, or can I come back if I don't find them, but it gets... The
If
woods
you get
are...
scared at any point, you come straight back. I just want you to try. But if it doesn't work out, if it seems too dangerous, you come right back. Your safety is far more important. If you don't want to do it, Graham, you don't have to.
I can do it. I just needed some better instructions, like he'll puff out his chest. Yeah, do you have a general direction?
I'll get a stick, and in the dirt I'll kind of draw out where we are. So Krezk, here's the lake, as best as I can from what the Burgomaster will have told us. So kind of what he's looking at. I'll draw out some rudimentary kind of like paw prints in case there's any tracks, but I'll explain that they could also be human. Kind of give him a how far away it should be, so once he's flown for this much, he could find the lake. All of that kind of spiel. And then
Very nice. Yeah, no problem.
Are you sure you can do this?
I hope there's no problems. If there are, I will fly away. Not get myself killed for this, but...
No, of course not. If anything happens, you come straight back here, and if anyone tries to hurt you, I will kill them. You're very brave for doing this.
I am.
There's very few people who would do such a thing to save so many people.
When I come back, another sandwich.
I'm sure I can make that happen.
Hazel's gone funny again, but...
Yes, I have agreed to get him a sandwich.
Oh, there she is. I assume she says yes to sandwich, and he will go invisible, and you'll feel the weight lift from your shoulder.
Be careful.
I will. You too.
I will. And once I feel that he's probably... I know he's invisible, but once I feel that he's out of sight, I'll return to the others.
That they're waving at nothing.
He's such a brave little imp. Sorry for the impromptu, RP. I wanted Graham to have his moment.
Now if we're going to come back to you guys, so just before we get back to everyone else and attempting to decide what the hell is going on, Darzin, did you want to say anything to Ingrid on your way up to the Abbey?
Yes. However, I haven't formulated what that is yet. So it would probably, for the most part, just be him going, so what do you think you said I seem pretty familiar. What do you think that?
If I tell you, will you laugh at me? Because it is ridiculous.
No, I've had a few weird... I mean, I've been here for a long time, and I've seen some pretty ridiculous things.
I think I have had these dreams. I'm sat at a campfire, And there is a man, and he is singing, and he looks just like you. Just he doesn't have the facial hair.
Okay, let's. I think that's kind of fair. I'd met someone else in Valaki not too long ago, who could only really greet me as friend. It's very strange. It wasn't until after he had passed away during the vampire attack that it turns out I had known him when I first came to Barovia a few hundred years ago.
I'm going to gloss over the vampire attack thing for another time and say, did he have slicked back hair? Like black hair?
I only remember him being bald. No, he did have slick back hair?
No, he didn't. He was bald.
No, he was bald. Like I thought he was.
Okay.
Was...
There is sometimes another man in the dream who is sat there. He doesn't really say anything. He whittles, but he's not bald.
I'll keep that in mind. Oh, I have these dolls, by the way. And he'll show off the dolls, and he's like, so this one is me. This was the bald fellow that I was talking about. This one seems...
It's my description of the dolls. You've got the one of your bald friend, who I think is holding a sword or something.
Yes.
You've got the one that looks... Now you look at it, maybe a bit like her. She has blonde pigtails, plaits. So does this woman, except the doll is much shorter than the other figures, and she is a regular human height. Oh god, I can't find the dolls. But there is one with... Do you have it?
I don't recall. I remember Darzin's was just him wearing a purple shirt or a purple tunic with a lute or something.
Oh wait, I think I've got it. I'm sorry. Should have thought of this before. But yeah, she will go. The other man, he looks like that, and you will have a doll with slicked back hair. Got it. Right. 6 dolls. You have Darzin doll, pointy ears, curly black hair, goatee, raised eyebrow, wears a purple tunic.
Oh, I didn't know about the raised eyebrow, but it's very fitting.
It is. The doll that is smaller than the others with braided blonde hair and a similarly styled beard, a smiley complexion, wearing plate armor, embellished with the image of 2 silver rings. Doll that has brown skin, is bald, and wears 1 hoop earring, and wears a doll with pointy ears, short slicked back hair, angry eyebrows, and a black tunic holding a bow. Oh, that's it.
Okay, so this is the fellow that you keep seeing, and I suppose this is supposed to be you in some way. Jelacha, you have a beard here. You've had a growth spurt though, so I guess you've changed. You've, traded beard for height.
Where did you get these from?
And he'll hold up the doll for Isaac, and he's like, this guy, he was very eager to hire a toy maker in Valaki to just continuously make these dolls. He's the...
Who is now dead?
He is unfortunately now dead, yes. For now.
For now?
For now.
What does that mean?
Well, I had a dream where I watched him die and he came back. So eventually he might come back again.
This is all extremely weird. Do you know who Bernard is?
No. No, but the name's familiar.
In the song that you sing in my dream, you talk about him, them. I don't know. You say in the song she, yeah, Bernard, she guides you. So it must be a her. Maybe one of these is Bernard.
Well, ask around. We have some people who visiting in town. They might know more. Could I even ask someone from the Abbey or something like that? The strange patchwork priest who came down. He might know, maybe. I don't know. But I do think I have that song written down in one of my books somewhere.
I assume you're walking along up the mountainside. You have this song?
I think I do, but it'd take me a bit of time to find it, and he'll start pouring through the book.
Don't understand. Are you... How can I have had a dream about you, but not... We haven't met, have we?
In a roundabout way, I think we have. But not in the ideal way.
Going to take some getting used to.
Yes, well, it's been quite a while whilst we've been walking up here and, having this conversation. So as we drift off into the distance on top of the mountain towards the Abbey, let me tell you about Vistani reincarnation and how we've met before. And he'll walk off being like, well, I think you probably came into Barovia with me, and then you unfortunately died, and then you've been going through all these things, and that's why I have this doll that looks like you, but you don't look like that. And you're probably having dreams of previous lives you used to have, which I was in, because we came through at the same time. And completely blow her mind by the time we get to the Abbey and have to have an important conversation with the abbot.
Very nice.
Then cut back to Luca and everyone else.
Cut back to everyone else, yeah.
Just leave it on the scene of her going,
A what?
So I'll walk back in and just be like, so have we actually made some decisions now?
I don't believe so. But I think we're going to try and go and talk to the werewolves with the burgomaster. That's entirely up for debate. We could try and find traces of them up by the lake, or we could wander aimlessly in the woods. Or we could just wait until they come here and talk to them outside the gate.
Give me a couple of hours, I can give you 10 bolts.
I think we'll need more than 10 bolts.
I need more than a couple of hours, then. depends when you want to go.
Yes, if we're going to leave the safety of the town to talk to, then we want to be prepared for a fight, even if we are not hoping for one. If they ambush us, we won't be in the best of situations.
I do.
I suppose.
I do have a mace. Would it be any particular trouble to have you silver it as well, just in case I run out of my ability to cast?
No trouble. I would like to silver. I've forgotten my husband's name, but his sword. Dimitri, that's his name. We've been married for so many years. Which would leave us with 20 bolts for the guard here, which is, in all honesty, the least I'd like. I wouldn't like to sacrifice more.
So is that my short sword, Darzen's? Is it Darzen or Luca at the moment? Because I can't tell again from the voice.
Darzen's.
Darzen's gone.
You need a hat. For when we've got both of you, there needs to be a Luca
We keep
hat.
talking about this, don't we?
Or we can get you a little beret for Darzen.
Well, it would look classy with a beret.
So a mace, a short sword, her husband's weapon, and then the 20 bolts for the guard. Is that what we were going for?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. That's 3 weapons, which leaves 2 weapons worth, which is 10 munitions each, so that would be 20 in total.
Have that done by tonight, though traveling at night is dangerous.
Well, maybe it's best then we leave in the morning. It means we can all be well rested. Travel in daylight rather than at night. It makes the most sense. And if they decide to maybe ambush the town earlier, at least we can be here to defend it.
Very. What would you like to do with the rest of your day?
Perhaps we better find somewhere to rest up then, if that's all we're doing.
The Burgomaster said that you can sleep in his house.
I'm trying to think, is there anyone useful in the town that could be worth maybe doing some favours for and just helping them prepare
You can spend your downtime just waiting for the morning, helping. There were people chopping down trees to help reinforce the front gate and make... Oh, I definitely knew the name last time we played. Make pointy sticks that are pointing out the top of the battlements, so that if they try to go over the battlements, they might hit the pointy sticks.
pikes?
Yeah, sure.
Palisade?
That sounds right. They're doing stuff. They're chopping and whittling.
Yeah.
Just gonna look disapprovingly at them chopping down trees. Stood there, occasionally sort of using druidcraft to grow from some leaves from my hat, plucking them, putting in a little hole at the top of my hat, and then picking my hand under my hat and pulling out some fermented pipe tobacco that's basically composting in my hat, and taking my pipe and tutting at them, chopping down trees. That's how I'm going to spend my evening.
Why does there always have to be a bag of decomp?
It's just how it is. It's how it is. They're just very useful. And flavorful, it seems.
We'll have to try that in Out of the Abyss, maybe. Let me smoke some of your decomp.
That might be a different bag of decomp, though. Actually, no, her bag of decomp in Out of the Abyss is getting less fleshy and more vegetation-based.
Well, the fermenting smell follows Magus around. You now know the source.
So, I love the fact that Magus looks mossy but smells of kimchi.
Luca will spend his day. He'll go around to try and help out. He'll probably do some priest things with a couple of people. So you're like, oh, you're feeling a little down. Well, let's have a little pray. And try and give, the odd pep talk to people who look a bit downtrodden, which is probably not going to work as well as he's hoping to, considering he's got a patchwork face. So he's probably quite horrifying to receive a pep talk from.
You definitely, a couple of children will run from you screaming.
It hurts, but I understand.
I want you to roll something, but I'm not sure what. Religion or performance? Like, is your performance so convincing? No, it's not performance, is it? Because you're not lying, so... Let's do a religion check. See if you can touch them with the holy light of Lathander, yada yada.
19. And it's the Orminator for me.
Yes.
They're the same person.
Yeah. You after a couple of missteps where people don't want to talk with you, you will find someone who is willing to listen, and then someone else, and then you find after a while, if you tell them to close their eyes and you speak to them whilst they have their eyes closed, they seem a bit more receptive, and they go away from you with a smile on their face, like this renewed sense of hope and appreciating that there are people helping them in what looks like to be a dire situation.
And then the last thing he will do is he will use sending to let the abbot know what's going on. And it will, in a nutshell, be like, I'm not going to do the full counting, but it will be like, there's an incoming werewolf attack, helping the town prepare. People are coming up to presumably talk about guarding the kids in the abbey. Will return at some point, etc. Except it's Luca, so slightly more eloquent and with smaller words. That doesn't really match. You can't have a smaller vocabulary and be eloquent at the same time.
Yes, you can. It's all about your use, so you can be concise.
Concise.
Okay.
Laconic, but eloquent you can be. Yes.
Luca, you are not ready. Come back.
Is that the only response he gets?
Yep.
Yep. No, he ignores that then. Like, nah.
In Alexander's kind of going to be helpful, there'll be a odd pattern to who he's helping, because he is going to be following Luca around at a distance and just keeping an eye on him in case any of the villagers get nasty. So he's okay with the children running away screaming, but he looks concerned when he sees Luca seeming upset. And then when he notices that people are listening to him, he relaxes a bit. He's going to keep a bit of a distance until he thinks Luca has maybe kind of settled somewhat. And then he will approach Luca. Excuse me, I know that you've been busy attending to the townsfolk, but I was wondering if you had a moment to talk.
Of course I do.
The helmet that you found in the pond, have you got any more of an idea of what it does?
You've spent enough hours with it. It's in your inventory. You can read it.
Yes, it's makes you slightly more durable at the start of each day, and it's a bit hardier. And the best I could gather is it helps make the wearer somewhat fearless.
No. Well, then it seems that it's found the right owner. Just keep it with you, and even if it makes you fearless, don't let it make you stupid, okay?
I am confused why you think it's found the right person with me.
I just think it has. I'll pat him on the shoulder and leave.
I have no idea what's just happened.
Well, Xander just wants to keep him safe. It makes him more durable.
Before you go too far, I wanted to ask you about your friend, because you did seem a tiny bit more disturbed to see me than the rest of your companions.
Throughout this whole conversation, Alessandra has not made eye contact. Maybe another time. And he'll continue walking.
Slightly disappointing, but understandable.
He's just not ready.
No one's ever ready.
That's
the
might
point.
lose you.
That's
might
why
lose
Luke is
you
not going
again.
back to the Abbey. No one's ever ready.
He knows that he might lose Luca again, so that's why he's trying not to make a connection, but yeah. Poor little elf boy.
Anything else before the end of the day?
I do not know where Matthew has gone, but nothing.
I don't know where Matthew has gone. What was I going to say? Oh, before the end of the night, Alessandra,
Yeah.
Graham will come back.
Okay.
I didn't see any wolves. Sorry.
Okay. Don't worry.
But I did look at the lake. There's a big tower on it.
What do you mean
Is that
there's a big
important?
tower on it? Well, I don't know. Could you tell me a little bit more about it? How big?
1 house, 2 house, 3 house, 4 house, big.
Are they big houses or little houses?
It's just like one straight up house. Tower.
Yeah. Okay, but if it's 4, did you say 4 houses big?
4 houses big.
4 houses big, and I'll point to like a 2-floor house, and I'll point to like a little bungalow shack. A bigger house or a smaller house? 4 of those or 4 of those?
4 of the littler one.
Okay. That's still quite
Like,
sizable.
yeah, 1 window and then another window, then another window, then another one.
Okay. Does it seem to be in use? Do you think anyone's in there?
I think so. I saw a candle inside, I think.
That's very, very perceptive of you. It's good to know. How do you get to this tower? You say it's on the lake. Is it on the? Is it overlooking the lake from a particular end? Is it on an island in the lake?
Yeah, it's like the lake is a big circle, and then at this point in the circle, and it will be like the east side, there's a tower.
On the edge of the lake. Okay. Well, that is very useful. Did there seem to be signs of any people elsewhere on the lake at all? Or just
No,
the tower?
just animals, but not wolves. Like, I flew around for a bit, and there were a couple of well, a lot of birds, a couple of the horns, deer.
That is brilliant. Very good detective work. In the morning, before we start, I can get you another sandwich, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And thank you for doing that, and thank you for being careful. I was quite worried about you while you were gone.
I was worried about you, but they've not attacked, so it's all okay.
Yeah, it's all okay. Oh, come on, let's go round up the others and make sure they're all okay as well.
Shoulder. And guess it's bedtime, unless
Absence.
Absence, did you want to do anything with the rest of the day? No? Lovely.
I got something very quick for Darzin. He'll probably spend most of the night talking to Ingrid. But he will also have that moment of using his sending to check in with a few people. So he'll use sending to talk to Irina. It's like, okay, how are things for Valaki? Is everything going okay? Is Vasily being a nutcase, etc.?
I'm well. How are all of you? The town is rebuilding. Lady Voctor is very involved. She has definitely got a vision for the town, but it is necessary right now for someone to lead. I haven't seen Vasily since you last spoke to me about him.
That's good to know. But also, after the fact, Darzin will go, should have mentioned the priest friend. The zombie priest friend.
You should have. You can do that tomorrow.
Yeah. And then he will also use sending to contact one of the only other people he genuinely likes in Barovia, which is Rictavio. He's like, hey, hope you're doing well. I'm still waiting for that song. Also, I know you travel. There's a werewolf attack in a couple of days in Krezk, so maybe avoid the area if you can.
God, what would he say? Sup?
Oh, that's very casual. A lot more casual than I was expecting.
Okay, sorry. Hello? Oh dear. You should avoid the area too, then. Where are you? I haven't had a chance to stop traveling. When I do, I'll think about that song.
He's not getting a reply because I only get 2 uses of sending a day.
So you've warned him. I need to rewind in my head. Did you say Krezk?
Yes.
Okay. So ignore the where are you. I forgot that you said Krezk. Yeah, that's fine. That's what it needs to say. And you can successfully speak to the abbot, and he will happily house the children there. He'll say you should probably steer clear of that side of the abbey, but they could stay in the quarters where you all stayed with the abbot, or in the dining room downstairs. And I guess you and Ingrid could return with that news and agree to bring the children up there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Cool. You're all in the Burgomaster's house if you're settling down to rest. You taking watches?
Yeah,
We need to.
What?
We need to do the thing for absence, don't we?
Do we need to rest?
We might end up with a big fight tomorrow. We might not, but we might, and therefore we need to be at our best. Now, if you don't want to, you don't have to.
I've not done anything today. I'm fine.
Helps the townsfolk because they couldn't silver all of your weapons until the end of the day. So, and you didn't want to. I think everyone decided it's better not to travel at night.
Time
I
is
don't
it?
think I can help
It's
with your
bedtime.
dreams tonight. Because I just need to practice that spell and know the words. But so I mean, you reckon you can tomorrow without a rest tonight, without sleeping? Then it might be safer. I don't know.
I didn't realise it was night time. I thought it was afternoon.
If I go to sleep earlier and complete my rest before you, I can spend some time when I wake up to prepare the spell to ensure that absence will sleep soundly.
Sure, I can take first watches then.
Not gonna make you roll. You're in town. First couple of hours goes by fine. Second watch?
I'll take second.
Second goes by fine. Third?
I will take third.
It is in.
Or I guess can.
I'll happily take it if you're getting your rest in to make that spell.
I only needed 4.
I guess you can do it together.
Yes.
Do that.
It is in that third watch, so when you've all been trying to sleep for 5 or 6 hours, that you see absence start to thrash about in his sleep.
Can you help him?
I can, yes. So I will. Can I ritual count? No, I can't. No, I'll immediately cast protection from good and evil when he starts thrashing about.
You will immediately stop thrashing. Remember to spend the spell.
I will.
And then I'm not going to make you bother with fourth. It's a new day. What do you want to do?
Well, we best head off, and that's why we said the night we see if yon blacksmith sorted out your weapons and head off.
Do we need to help get the children up to the abbey, or will the townsfolk be okay with that?
Dawson will raise his hand and just go, me and Ingrid are going to take care of that.
Okay.
If Ingrid's there, she'll say, Ingrid and I, does it? Sorry, I'm a teacher.
Next, she'll be telling you about who and whom.
I will ignore the advice regardless.
You are no better than the children that I teach. But she says it with a smile. Yeah, they will give you... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, is there any chance that there's honey or some kind of sweet preserve in the kitchen of the Bergmaster?
Yeah. It's the Bergmaster, of course there is.
If I can acquire... Even if I have to steal it, if I have to be stealthy, I'll do what I need to make sure that Graham gets his sandwich.
They will offer you breakfast. It will be just, like, porridgey things, but if you... It's up to you. You can try and take it, or you can just...
No, if it's there and available, I'll just make a sandwich.
They won't say anything, yeah. And they will give you 10... I can't remember if you wanted arrows or bolt.
Let me just look and see. I think it'll be arrows are probably the best bet. 18 versus... Oh, they're the same distance. Do they have different damage thingies? Ah, sorry, 1 second. How do I find out how much damage a crossbow does versus a short bow? I like crossbows, 1 damage die better than short bow. I will take the crossbow. So crossbow bolts, please. Oh, no, 1 second. Did we say that there's going to be 20 bolts or arrows for the town guard?
Yes, they're doing those today.
Okay, so then it was just the mace, my short sword.
Yes, sorry.
And the other guy's
I misremembered.
weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I talked about crossbow bolts and it gets weird. Okay.
I can't find silvered items, so just remember that those items are silvered.
I know on D&D Beyond, at least, there's an option to, when you customize it, to set it as being silvered.
Do you do that, or do I have to do that? Sand it, short sword. Silvered! Yes! There we go.
Thank you.
While I'm doing that, anything you need to do before you leave?
Nope.
Kiss her husband goodbye and say be careful, and a small group of guards and townsfolk will wave you off at the gates, and with this sort of bravado and you know, he's a leader, he'll give a little speech about how they will be back, they will all be well, and God's willing they will not have to fight the werewolves at the gates, because you will finish this outside. So, let me take you back to Baratok. Dimitri will ask, do you want to head to Lake Baratok, where we fought the last wolf? See if we can pick up any tracks from there. It was over a week ago now, though, but we went there because we assumed it is the main watering hole for all of the animals in the area, or we could just track north and Hope we come across something.
I think starting off where they've previously been sighted is a good bet. And I would be concerned of entering too far into the woods. That would be perfect hunting territory for them and probably not so good for us.
There won't be much of a difference time-wise to take the road rather than going through the woods. I think we should do that. So you would head back on Svalek Road, which you have travelled before, until you get to the crossroads, where there's a bridge that takes... you came from the south to... from the winery, but there is another small path leading north, and you can see the lake in the distance, and that would be how many hours? A couple of hours if you set off at first light. Yeah, about 3 hours to the lake. So you come to a lake enclosed by the woods and some rocky bluffs. There's always fog in Barovia, obviously, so there's a fog on the surface of the lake. The water's quite still, and along the southeastern side, as you can see on the map, there is a grass-covered causeway that stretches a couple of 100 yards across the lake to a flat, marshy land with a stone tower on it, which Graham mentioned to you. The tower looks old and decrepit, with a collapsing scaffolding clinging to one side where there's a large gash in the wall.
I'll probably mention the tower to them as we'd walked. I've got a lot of time to fill with conversation, so...
Would be a good place to try and spot some activity.
Yes, the people there might know something more of the local area than we do.
Assuming there's anybody living there anyway.
I've been reliably informed that if there's not people, then there should be something if there's light coming from it.
Out of curiosity. Can't hurt to go have a look, I suppose.
We've seen this tower before, obviously. Hello, I'm Dimitri. I'm travelling with you at the moment. There hasn't been anyone in there when we've previously knocked on the door. We've tried to have a look, although this is many months ago, and the scaffolding is very weak, and there does not appear to be a way to open the door. It doesn't have a lock or anything. It's very strange.
But I suppose if there was no one there before and there's people there now, that might be them werewolves.
Maybe.
Maybe.
In which case, should we be approaching stealthily?
No, that would just make it seem like an ambush.
They're just small, aren't they?
And if that is our intention, to talk, then we should approach out in the open.
Would you like me to just get a bit closer and see if I can see out there? Turn to her again.
I didn't catch that, Magus.
I said I could turn into one of them there ravens and have a bit of a closer look. If you want.
If you think it's safe to do so.
Well, new till I try. I stand around and turn into a raven and fly off. Have a closer look at to see if I can see any activity in the tower.
Give me a sec. How close do you get to the tower?
I'm gonna stay above it, but just sort of flap around, just try to look like a raven swooping around. Really, just wanted to see if there's anything. I might sort of swoop down in one of the trees nearby to see anything going on inside.
Raven perception, please.
Yes. Hang on a minute.
Could give you a raven, couldn't I? Oh wait, you can't be a raven at your level.
Oh, no, I can't.
Circle of Dreams, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't fly until level 8.
I won't do that then.
Graham will.
I'll turn into.
Graham can.
I'll have turned into a squirrel after the tree. Then there we go. How about that?
Turn into a what? Sorry.
A squirrel, and run up in the tree. See if I can see
Yeah.
anything happening.
Let me. D&D squirrel stats. Perception +5.
Ooh, fancy.
And you can look at the tower from a couple of angles. So there's little arrow slits on the ground floor that are quite difficult to see through from a tree. But on the second floor, there's some windows, and on the third floor, there's this big gaping hole in the wall that the scaffolding leads to, and you can't see any movement inside. I'm gonna stop that. Why
What?
did it do that?
Why?
Oh, it's not looping. It's not looping. That's why it did that.
What the fuck was that?
It was nothing for you to be concerned about.
That was so confusing.
And if you get to the very, very tops of the trees, you can maybe see in the fourth floor. Would you see? Yes, you'd see what looks like one person moving on the very top floor.
They just look like a normal person.
Yep.
Look
What you can see of them.
Okay. Well, I shall scuttle back to the others. I'll let them know what I saw.
Well, if we know that there is someone in there, might as well try knocking.
It only saw one person though, so I don't think there's no crowd of werewolves, but they might know where to find them anyway.
Alexandra, in his false bravado, will approach. Can I check the door for traps? I can't remember the last time I've done this.
Yes, you can.
How do I do that?
I can't remember what that is. It's investigate, is it?
Investigation, yeah. $18.
This is a very interesting door. So the door is made of iron. There are no visible handles or hinges, and carved into the door are 6 lines of script with a lock, a keyhole beside each line except for the first. There's also a couple of additional scribbles etched beside the second and third lines. It's quite difficult to see because there are no hinges, but like I guess through tapping maybe the door in the correct places, you can hear that there are things attached to the door that would make you think it is trapped.
Okay. But I don't think that just knocking is going to be problematic. So I've touched it and there's no weirdness. I'll knock them.
There is
1 second. You said there was an inscription on it.
There are 6 lines of script.
Can I read them?
Remind me what languages you speak.
Peascant, Common, Elvish, Sylvan, and Celestial.
You can read the first line, which says pick in order or not at all.
Okay, 1 second. So, first line, pick in order or not at all.
That is in Thieves' Cant.
Oh.
Did you say Celestial?
Yep.
You can read the second line. It says 2 or 4.
2 or 4.
You can't read the third line, but you can read the Thieves' Cant scribbled next to it.
Oh, okay.
It says never trust a demon. You can't read the fourth line.
Okay.
You can read the fifth line. It's in common. It says 3.
Okay, so I need the main part.
Sixth line.
Oh, okay.
Sixth line you can read. It's in Elven. It says 1 or 2 or 4.
Okay, so I can read 1 and 2, 5 and 6. I can read the note next to the third line, but I can't read the third line or the fourth line. But because it says never trust a demon, I will ask if Graham, who's got Infernal as one of his languages, if he can read any of it.
It says 1 or 4 or 5.
Okay. At that point, I will ask the others what languages they know. And does this look familiar to anyone? And we know it's not Thieves' Cant, Common, Elvish, Sylvan, Celestial, or Infernal.
I can read 2 of the languages.
And what would they be?
Well, I'll take a look, shall I? I'll wander up and have a look.
Absence would be able to read lines 3, the one in Infernal, which is 1 or 4 or 5. 4. 4 is difficult. It takes you a moment. Reading it is difficult, but when you sound it out with your mouth, you realise that Gnomish written down is a Dwarvish script.
Okay.
And it says the number 6. And then it says next to it, goblins can't count.
Really smart ones can.
And you can also read 5, which isn't common. Everyone can read that. That says 3. Do you all have it now? Can I post it?
Is that all of them?
I think you've got it now.
Yeah, so it should be. The first one says pick an order or not at all. Second says 2 or 4. Third says 1 or 4 or 5. Never trust a demon.
Demon?
Yeah, never trust a demon. 4 says 6. Goblins can't count. 5 says 3, and 6 says 1 or 2 or 4.
I'm gonna post it. It's easier to look at. So.
Yeah.
And it matters what language it sounds things.
Do you want the languages as well? Because then I can just pick it straight up.
It probably just need to say the numbers in the languages, do we?
Made little notes about what languages people speak.
Fortunately, I couldn't contribute any particularly exciting languages to that. Everybody already seems to know the ones I do.
Alexander spent a lot of time in the library growing up.
Evidently.
Or not at all.
My tutor in the martial arts insisted that I learn his language to read his manuals. That's why I know Gnomish.
And this is the fun part where everyone scratches their heads for 5 minutes.
Okay, so pick an order or not at all. So not picking is an option. Because if... okay. We don't trust...
Absence,
Infernal.
if you've gone up to look, can I move you up to the door?
Yeah.
Same with Graham. Anyone? Basically, if you've gone up to the door, please be there. So I know where people are. Just in case.
I would immediately the snitch in me would love to immediately just be like, I think I have it. Dum 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 dum. But Luca is just going to stare at it, and he's going to suggest what he thinks it is. He's like, could it be elven, celestial, common, infernal, and the other one?
So...
Well, I think maybe we just say the numbers in the language.
Except for... if we're to believe the extra inscriptions, we shouldn't trust...
the infernal one.
The third one. And the fourth one is wrong.
There's only 5 languages.
No, so the first line just says pick in order or not at all, so it doesn't give us a number, it just tells us that we need to...
Well, I think that means do it in order.
Yes.
And or don't do it. So if we do it wrong, it's going to blow up or something.
And then the second one says 2 or 4, so that means we either... Well, the second one, if it's 2, is already saying the second one. And then if we go to 4, the fourth option would be 6, but if goblins are incorrect, then 6 is wrong.
There's only 5 languages listed.
Yes. So would that be then 5?
Presumably.
I thought you said I don't speak Goblin.
No, but the script is the same.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was gnomish, but okay.
So if you can read Gnomish, you can read Goblin. Because
Okay.
they all use the same script, which is Dwarvish. It's confusing.
So
What's actually on the door? Just a hole.
The 6 lines, and then by the 5 lines with the numbers of 1 or 4 or 2 or 3, there's a keyhole next to each line.
We don't have a key. However, it does appear that there is a ladder up onto some scaffolding.
2 appears in 2 lines. 1 appears in 2 lines. 4 appears in 3 lines.
It's at work.
So 3's in the is the 4th place. That's the only one there. 6 is a bit random.
I think it's largely a case of perhaps ordering it, so Elvin being 1, 2, or 4 could be its placement in the order. It could either be in position 1, 2, or 4. So then you could have Elvin as 1, Celestial as 2 or 4, you place it as 2. Common is automatically 3. Infernal you could put as 4, and then Goblin as 5, 6.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. I zoned out. What were you saying?
The languages could be the to put them in. So Elf being 1, 2, or 4 could be, it goes in position 1, 2, or 4. So you could pick Elven for position 1, Celestial for 2 instead of 4. Common automatically goes into 3. Infernal you can put in 4, and then Goblin can go in 5/6.
But goblins can't count.
But Goblins can't count.
And where's Thieves' Cant in that?
Thieves' Cant doesn't have a key next to it.
So is the holes next to each one?
Except for the Thieves' Cant line.
Yeah, at the top.
Okay, but we don't have a key anyway, so...
Then I start looking around for a key.
There's some scaffolding over here.
Alexander, perception or investigation, and yes, there is some scaffolding over there. The scaffolding is a lot of rotting wooden beams, which grin and creak in the breeze. A series of ladders and platforms lead to a hole in one of the walls on the 3rd floor. Alexander, you cannot find a key around the base of the... there's like no doormat or pot plant. And the earth doesn't look like it's recently been turned anywhere if you're just looking around the front of the tower.
Okay.
You reckon? I reckon it's the 4, and then the 2, and then the 5, and then the 3, and then the 1.
Yeah. Because we can't trust Infernal, so we wouldn't have 1, 4, or 5 in the middle slot.
The only numbers there are 2 or 3, but 3's in the common, so it must be 2. The first one must be 4.
Yeah.
You've got 4 and 2.
And then the
Goblins
goblins
can't count, and yeah, it's the higher number, so it's 5, and then 3, and the only one left is 1.
It's like he's making a lot of sense, it's just that unfortunately he's breaking up quite a lot.
What it makes perfect sense.
If someone says the language is at me, that would be helpful. If you do anything with them, I suppose. Oh, I haven't locked the front door. I should do that.
Fuck it. We should have got in.
Quick, bust the door in.
Why did we not have Darcy?
I know.
Perfect
does
time
already.
for him. I just waltzed on in. So I can't read this in order. So we said the first one was, so there's thieves camp. Sorry, I'm just writing these down. I'm not answering any questions.
Absence. Shall we explore the scaffolding?
Perhaps I should. No offense, but you've only been walking a few days.
Well, maybe I should go with you, but I think it might be worth trying the door.
I don't think I'm so bad that I mean, yes, it's not going to be ideal, but I'm sure it's not going to be so bad that I'll fall to my death immediately.
Well, I'm good on my feet, I think. I'll go up cautiously.
Yourself?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye out as he's going.
I'm not going to stop him if he wants to, but yeah, I'll try and get up.
Probably one of the rungs of the ladders break as you go up. And definitely you'll put your foot through a floorboard through a board, and the whole structure will move more than you are comfortable with. Ooh, didn't ask for that.
No, I didn't think I clicked it, but hey. Okay, there's no fumbles on ability checks. Yet.
You can feel... Yeah, I didn't ask for it. I mean, it's so tempting to do something, but I didn't ask for it. So you can just feel how weak it is, but at the moment it is supporting you, and you can get up to the first level okay.
Is there any windows or anything?
Yes, there is. Sorry, let me zoom out to remember where windows are. Yeah, on the first level, you would be able to see in. So not the ground floor, that's not got anything on it, but the first level above that, you will see the floor has some holes in it. It looks pretty unkempt. There's just a lot of books littering the floor, and what seems to be like a hole in the very middle of the floor with some chains that reach up into the ceiling, and up into further levels because there's a hole in the ceiling as well.
I'll describe it to Luca. What I can see.
Well, it's fascinating. Be interested to see what some of the abandoned books are, and also why there's a series of chains running through the tower. Do you think you can get any further up?
Well, I think this is as high as the scaffolding goes, isn't it?
No, you can go up to the next floor. But I will ask for a check because it gets even...
I'm not sure I want to be 2 floors above ground level if we go in. You won't be able to get to me if there's something bad in there.
I can come up to you. Follow in behind.
That's not what I mean. It does not look safe in there. This scaffolding is not safe. I don't think it will support 2 people. I can affix some rope here somewhere to make it a little safer, but is there any stairs down in the room, or is it just the chains?
Nope, just the chains.
Okay, I'll just come back down. Tie a rope off though first.
The second floor.
No, first floor.
Sorry, first floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, what could you reach through a window to get to? Ugh.
If there isn't anything, I'll just leave it and just come down.
There isn't really anything. There's a lot of bookshelves, but that's not really. It wouldn't ideally take someone's weight. Everything in the room is quite old.
Yeah, I'll just come down.
Have the puzzle solvers got any further?
I reckon we has to say the numbers in that order, but in the languages what the order's in on the notes. Does that make sense? If I
You're muted, Hazel.
It's always funny to see the fluster.
Yeah, so I'm in agreement with Magus, and if saying it doesn't work, then we need to find a key.
Well, I can't speak Goblin, but I can handle the others.
I can't speak any of these apart from common.
Well, I can do. I think I'm the only one who can do Thieves' Cant, unless anyone else has got that. I can do Celestial, Common, and Elven. So I just need probably Absence for the Infernal and the rudimentary Goblin.
I can also speak Infernal.
So can Graham.
We have many.
Yes, well, think of anyone not speaking as part of this. It could be worth everyone else stepping back, just in case.
Tree will step back.
And I would like Graham to step back as well. I don't want him to be in range. And I'm just going to ask Absence to risk his life.
Please bear in mind that if whatever happens to the door kills you, I can't bring you back at the moment.
Oh, you were the one that was nimble and quick on your feet. Why am I risking my life?
We both are. I can't speak. Unless you want to, if you want to teach Alexander how to say, what number did we need to say in Infernal? 1 second, so it was
2.
4, 2. No, that's in Celeste. Oh, 1 second.
I don't mind doing it, but I do seem to fall very easily at the moment. Just as a reminder.
4, 2, 5, and that one's 3 and that one's 1. So yeah, if Absence can teach me how to say 2 Infernal and 5 in what would be Goblin, so let's go for some kind of
Well,
gnomish,
I speak
dwarfish
gnomish, but
hybrid.
maybe guess what it would be. I shall do that then. I shall teach Alexander. I mean, if you're uncertain, I'll stay. But if this explodes, then
No, just tell me what I'm saying. I'll try it. I'm not sure that just speaking it will be enough. I think we do need to use a key, but we'll just do what we can.
When it comes to it, I'll ask you for a performance check on the goblin.
Okay.
Right, what language do you say the number 1 in?
Elven.
Number 2?
Infernal.
Number 3?
Common.
Number 4?
Celestial.
Number 5?
Goblin.
Performance check.
It's
Nothing.
absolutely butchered.
Nothing happens.
It's more of a grunt. And nothing bad happens either.
Nope.
Can I try
Seeing as
again?
it didn't explode, I'll happily say the goblin bit if you think it will work with 2 people speaking.
I still think that the keyholes are important, but it's worth at least one more go.
Yeah, we have another go with you doing the goblin line. Nothing happens.
We need a key.
We could get in on the scaffolding, but it's very delicate.
And again, I'm just going to rock up and knock on the door really loudly. Someone's in there. They can answer the bleeding door. Excuse me. We know you're in there. We only wish to speak with you.
A moment passes. Another moment passes. 5 minutes come and pass, and no one seems to be coming.
How important is it for us to get into this tower right now?
Be a good scouting location for spotting any werewolf activity. There is a hole on the side of the tower of some scaffolding if that seems more appropriate for you.
Absence, what do you think?
You and I could go in and try and get down and open the door, but look, run down. I surprised anyone's living above the ground floor in there. There was some chains going up into the ceiling and down. Unless there's a lift and they're living on the top floor. You saw what?
Someone on the top floor. When I was up in the tree, or it was high up there in the tree, I could see someone up there.
I just start climbing up the side of the tower. I take it it's quite rickety, so there should be hopefully some handholds on that.
You have a fucking climbing speed.
Yes, I do. So rather than risk fucking up the scaffolding, I'll climb the tower.
I can't do anything with that. Are you going for the hole in the 3rd floor, or a window on the 2nd or 3rd or 4th floor?
The hole is what I'm aiming for. If I can pass windows or slits that I can peek through, I will do. But I'm aiming for the hole, and then if I can see any better points of entry further up on the top floor, I'll go for that. But I'm trying to. I don't want to outpace Absence too much, but I just also don't want to risk having more weight than we need on the scaffolding.
On the 2nd floor, you'll see what Absence saw. Lots of books littering the floor, chains going through this hole that's in the ceiling and in the floor. and because you can fucking climb.
I'm so happy I
Fucking
became a
forgot.
thief.
You can come through the hole in the wall.
Oh, I've moved. Where have I moved to?
You're on the third. 1, 2. Ground first, second. You're on the second floor. What do you see on the second floor? Floor is littered with some books. No, that's not right. That's the second. That's the first floor. So there you are. You will see. This big 5-foot hole in the floor that looks down into the floor below, and then the floor below where it looks like there may be a platform at the very bottom, and as we said, the chains that go all the way up. The room that you're in is so strangely beautiful. If you look up, it's not a ceiling like you expect. It's a night sky.
Has Absence come with me?
Yeah.
Absence,
When you
will
say-
you do me acrobatics check to climb the scaffolding all the way up to that floor?
No, apparently no.
That's 3 ones in a row. Statistically, what the hell?
Yeah, it's not good, is it? I've noticed since version 10 that do seem to get a lot more ones.
That check is for when you try to get from the first to the second, so you are gonna fall. But I can't
Can I
remember
try and
what
grab
floor.
him? I did say I was going to try and
D6
keep.
per 10 feet.
So it'll be D6. You know what, Yabs? Alessander can, if he knows how, you know how dangerous it is. So
Yeah,
do me a dex check to try and grab him.
You've
Just
dropped
straight
people
down?
out of towers before.
If he's on
Fuck
the third floor and
No.
I'm going from
No.
the first to the second, it's not going to be able to.
No, when I said I was climbing, I said I was going to try and keep pace with Absence because I'm just climbing so that I don't put weight on the scaffolding to make it safer for you. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not rushing off by myself.
Mm-hmm.
11. Pretty much, I'm just trying to I'm not trying to catch him so much as push him to the wall so he can grab on.
Yeah, what I'm gonna say is I'm gonna emit full damage, but the scaffolding is now broken from that level. He's fallen through, but you've helped soften that fall by grabbing onto him, but you can't quite hold onto him, so he does drop, but with less of a thud.
Okay. Do you think you could make it up, or do I need to do this by myself for now?
So now Alessander will be 10 feet above you.
You can try climbing the wall.
Or I can take
I'm not
Magus
as good
with
at climbing
me.
as you. Oh.
Is Magus still a squirrel?
If you take my rope with you, if you can get
a little squirrel looking at the door, going.
But yeah, if Magus can be something small, I can take him with me without any real issue.
Or you could turn back and sit on your shoulder.
I mean, I don't want you to use up everything that you've got at this moment, but... Or I can take Graham with me, and if anything happens, he can warn you all.
Well, do you reckon if you was just to go in one of the is there a window, the nearest window, then you could let us in from the inside?
Well, I don't know. I think the door is a bit more complex than my standard lock-picking ability would allow. but I can have a look.
Saying
Okay,
all of this from the third floor, poking your head out.
No, I'm hanging on 10 feet up.
Okay, cool.
I'm just chilling. Like a Spider-Man villain. I'll ask Graham to join me and I will continue climbing.
Just gonna hang out with Dimitri while all this is going on.
Oh, now I can see. Okay. So the sky ceiling, does it look like it's a painting or does it look like it's literally a night sky?
It looks literally like a night sky. There are constellations twinkling above you. If you look around the room, there is. Sorry. It doesn't tell me much of what there is. It's like a workbench, not a workbench, a desk, and a globe. Would you recognize? Do me a history.
Okay. Sorry, my mouse is deciding not to work at this moment. Are you going to actually click? That might roll twice. Or not at all. Sorry, my Foundry has decided it doesn't like me. Six.
There are a couple of instruments on the table that it really annoys you. You feel like you've seen them before, but you're not quite sure what they are. They're made of metal. There's also a little map, but it's not of a place that you know, and it doesn't look like countries. It looks like it might be a constellation map, but this isn't something you've studied.
Is there anything made of silver?
No.
Okay. Graham, do you think we should head up or down? Maybe let the others in if we can?
Yeah, I mean, I can fly, but how are you gonna get down?
Can I walk over to the hole in the floor with the chains? Can I pull on the chains? Do they seem secure?
They seem secure, yeah.
I'm climbing down those chains.
Forget that you can climb. Yeah, you can do that.
Oh, the power.
It's been like 5 minutes and you forgot.
I also forgot quite a while.
Right. Oh, no, you're not quite inside yet.
I'm cut in half.
Yeah, you see what Absence described and what you saw on the way up. So you see lots of books on shelves and on the floor, lots of loose floorboards, and in the western wall, that's not the western wall, in this wall, come on, ping, there we go.
Yep.
There is a bust of a middle-aged man. And it will turn its eyes to you as you come down the chains.
Oh shit.
Intruder!
At that point, I'll probably jump off the chair and just be like, "I'm sorry. I would say I didn't mean to intrude, but I did. Do I think this is just an alarm, or do I think this thing is actually capable of watching me?"
Make an Arcana check.
Pretty much. Is it still screaming?
But yet, while you're doing this, he'll shout intruder, and then he will say, "She'll be back soon, you know, and she will have you. She is a fearsome woman, so don't take anything. I will tell her all about it."
Do you know how long she will be gone for? I do have other things to do.
I'm not going to tell you. I don't know who
you.
you are.
Oh, sorry. And for a second, I will consider introducing myself. My Arcana check was an 18.
Yeah, and from this brief conversation, he's very animated. His mouth and his eyes move. He seems quite sentient.
Okay. I do apologise for the intrusion. Sorry, I do mind my manners. My name is Alexander. It's a pleasure to meet you. I don't mean to intrude. We were looking for some help, and unfortunately there was no answer here. So.
Can't open the door.
No, I can see that now, but we were a little uncertain, so we thought we'd check to make sure that no one was harmed.
Well, when you don't hear anyone come answer the door, you don't just let yourselves in, do you? What are you, an animal?
Well, if you consider what people are, then in a sense of the word, yes, actually, but it was mainly out of concern. We're aware that there's been some werewolf activity around here, and I mainly just wanted to make sure that people were okay. And considering some of the holes in this building, it would be quite easy for some form of werewolf incursion. So we just wanted to check, and I do apologise for the intrusion, as I've said before.
Don't worry, the lady can look after herself, and werewolves have tried before, and, well, let's just say they fell on their asses.
Well, that is good to hear, and you have not come to any harm?
I don't know that I can come to any harm, but I appreciate the concern.
I'm glad to hear that. Would you be able to tell me who it is that I'm waiting for, just so I can prepare myself? I wouldn't want to act indecently at any point.
Shouldn't you know for yourself? That's why you came here, surely.
Well, we're here about the werewolves. I've only found out about this tower this morning, really. Well, it was mentioned last night, but I wasn't quite aware of it.
I must say you are quite polite, dear boy, and I do like politeness, but I know nothing about you, and it would be a disservice to my lady if I were to give away information that I do not know that I should be giving away. So I will remain quiet on the matter.
Well, thank you for complimenting my manners. My mother would be very pleased with that. Is there anything particular you would like to know about me?
About you?
Well, yes, you just said that because you don't know me. Is there any information that would allow for you to make such a judgment? I would be more than happy to accommodate you.
You don't come here meaning harm to any person in this tower. You come to see that everyone is safe from werewolves?
Yes. Also, to be completely honest, if you have any information about the werewolves, or anything that's going on in this local area, that would be greatly appreciated, but I understand if you don't want to speak on that matter.
Oh, yes, my lady would be very useful for that. Yes, you should wait for her. Maybe not in her home, though. As I said, very rude.
No, I understand that. And if it would be at all possible for you, please, to just give me a little guidance on when she will be arriving, because we need to stop a werewolf incursion to local town, and I'd be happy to return to wait for her if it's going to take a while. I just don't want to be an inconvenience to anyone, and I do, again, apologise for the inconvenience I've already caused.
Honesty, dear boy, I don't know when she'll be back. She can be gone for days at a time, but she always comes back. Don't you worry about that. You might want to ask that foul boy upstairs, but I don't know whether he is friend or foe. He says very little. Let himself in, like you, although he came in through the front door.
And he just continues to stay here? Uninvited?
Yes.
Well,
I feel exactly... You seem to share my sentiment. Rude. Incredibly rude. Just to walk into someone's house.
So.
Use their things. Without even asking. Doesn't listen to a word I say.
That just is not right. That's just not on. Would you like for me to have a word with them?
Oh, yes, absolutely. That would very much put you in good stead with me, sir. 4th floor, black hair, little teenage thing. Very rude.
Does it sound like the knobhead from Valaki, whose name I can't remember?
Victor.
Was it Victor?
A lot of people have black hair and
teenage,
but it could be.
And the kind of person who would be able to get through the door. Okay, well, I'll go have a word. Would you prefer that I let myself out after that, or would you prefer me to report back to you?
Well, if you can escort him off the premises, that would be very much appreciated.
I will see what I can do. Thank you for your time and hospitality. It is greatly appreciated, and I do apologise once again.
I don't know that it's my place to accept your apology, but for as far as I can, I do accept it. You have been quite a delight to speak to, young man.
If the lady of the house would allow it, would I be able to visit you again?
I shall put in a good word, of course. Oh, before you go, would you mind? The book... I can't point. The book with the last line, but as it were, could you turn the page for me?
Oh, yes, of course, and I'll kind of... There are multiple books in front of him, right?
Yep.
Can I, in trying to find the right book and turn the page, can I kind of check out the titles of some of the other books, just to get an idea of what kind of stuff is around?
In front of him?
Yeah, I'm just kind of neatening up the piles to then make more room for the book that he is reading.
It's a lot of poetry and fiction, predominantly romance novels.
Okay. So I will then turn the page for him, and one of the books off to the side. What do I recognise any of them? Probably the poetry rather than the romance fiction. I'm not really a Mills and Boons kind of guy.
Potentially. I don't know how much reading he's done. If it's, classic poetry, you would probably recognise in an anthology a couple of names would be...
He's a learned boy. He's had tutors. He knows how to show off, mainly. So he'll just kind of glance over, notice the book, and be like, oh... This is a wonderful collection. I've not seen some of this work for quite a few years now. You've quite the taste, I must say.
My dear boy, you read poetry?
Oh, well, I wouldn't say I've read much, but I know a bit.
I knew it the minute that I met you. You are a intelligent young man. Oh, it's been I don't know how long, decades, maybe centuries since I've had. Well, no, I have intelligent conversations with my lady, but she's not very much into the arts.
Well, I must say it's nice to see that there is someone around here who also appreciates such fine things.
Yes, absolutely. If you have any poetry on you, I've read a lot of these many times. I would greatly appreciate a new book to read.
I have a copy of A Brief History of Barovia, and there is another
Ooh.
book, because I stole some fancy books.
You do.
I have an anthology of poems.
You do.
Well, I took the anthology of poems just because it looked expensive, didn't I? I didn't take it because it had information in it. I think that was the Noble Houses of Barovia and maybe the Brief History of Barovia that I thought would be useful. Well, if it would be of interest to you, I do actually have Graveside Meditations. It's in quite good condition. It's a gilded copy.
It sounds a little macabre, but poetry, yes.
Yes.
Oh, please show me.
Would you like me to show you now, or should I maybe deal with your intruder first?
Oh, he's been here a day. He can wait. Show me, please.
I have some friends waiting for me outside. Would I be able to invite them in and we could spend some time chatting? We won't interfere with the building at all. It's just I do worry about leaving them outside.
Roll me a persuasion with advantage.
Thank you.
Double one.
I swear to God, if it's a double ones, I'm gonna fucking cry. 18.
Will you be getting rid of the...
I've got the book open. I'm flicking through it, looking at some of the different titles, and if he asks about the boy, I will say that we will do our best to deal with the boy.
There is a tree outside. There's a skeleton buried under it. You need just a bone. It forms a skeleton key. Have you worked out the order on the door?
Oh, I do believe so.
Go get your friends. And then please do come back. I would like to talk to you very much about all of the things that are in these books. I have not had a proper conversation in decades. Have you ever been in love? A lot of these poems are love.
I can't really say for sure. If you just give me a moment, I can stay here and talk to you about the literature if you'd like. I just need a quick moment, a floor above, just to let my friends know if that's okay.
Yes, I suppose so. Hurry back,
Thank
I'll
you.
have finished this page.
I quickly just pop up to the floor above so he can't see, and then I'll talk to Invisible Graham to go tell everyone else what's going on, so they can be informed and they can deal with that. And Alexander will just settle down and have a lovely conversation with this weird bust about love and romance and literature.
Oh, I'm Buster, by the way.
Buster? Oh, brilliant. Being this pretentious dickhead.
Buster the Bust.
Yes, it's inventive. Graham will appear in front of you guys. Alright, so Alexander is speaking ahead. It said if you go to one of the bushes underneath someone's buried a skeleton, and if you use one of the bones, it'll unlock the the keyholes and you can get in if you do it in the right order.
Suppose we should go and dig up a corpse then.
What?
This seems very improper to gain access to this tower.
I'm not sure I followed that.
No. What was that about? A corpse?
There is apparently a skeleton buried under a tree or a bush somewhere, where one of the bones will act as a skeleton key. So we have to go and find someone's remains, so we can get the key to go inside.
It's a bit disrespectful.
Agree, somewhat. But as long as we return the bone, don't see any.
Now, he's dead. He don't mind. He don't mind much. He's dead.
Oh, well, let's look for it then.
Perception or investigation with advantage, whoever wants to look.
I'll have a pop with advantage for investigation if someone else also wants to have a little look-see. Because I didn't do great. I got a 16.
Magus.
Definitely Magus. He finds it first.
Very easy to spot where the earth has been semi-recently disturbed. It's not like the rest of the earth surrounding it, and it wouldn't take much to dig a small hole even with your bare hands, because you come across a singular bone before you come across a skeleton. And you're going to use the order that you gave me earlier? The door opens.
Yeah.
That wasn't
I'll
too
hold the
bad,
door.
was it?
Should we put that bone back? Or I can put it
If you
back and you
want.
hold the door?
Well,
I'll put it back.
quite
I don't
happily.
mind if it makes you happy.
I can see some things inside, and they don't look pleasant. I don't know if we're supposed to be able to see those.
Yep.
Yeah, they're just there.
Coming from you, that's quite something.
You'll see a torn curtain immediately in front of you, partially obscuring the rest of inside of the tower. But yes, you can see some stone statues stood around this slightly larger platform. And these statues are holding onto these chains that are going up through the ceiling. There's also some crates littered around.
They do anything if I step into the middle of the room?
They don't move.
Well, that's a bit odd. Something we don't see every day.
No, we just need to figure out how to go up.
The platform very slowly starts to move. Like really achingly slowly.
That lift music.
Yes.
Oh, for fuck's sake, that's what it was for.
I was like, what's just come on?
Love that.
It's just Lucas slowly going up, probably like an inch every 5 minutes, going, this is actually quite pleasant.
It's so slow. Alessandro would start to hear the moving of chains. You could all, I know it's only a 5-foot platform, but you could all jump on with him. It would just be very much
I'll if they don't look like they're attacking, I'll jump on. Oop.
like being on the tube.
Yeah,
You-
cram
I
in.
might go up and down
Yeah.
a bit for the tubes, you know.
And you're twiddling your thumbs as slowly. Yep, there's another 30 centimeters. What's it been? A minute? Another 30 centimeters. Oh boy.
It'd be quicker to just build steps.
And then you'll get to Alessandra's level. Do you want to jump off?
Yeah.
I'll put you all there, and then it's gone 10, so we should probably finish. But I got to the lift music, and that's all that matters, right?
Yeah, and as you
It's
get
very-
off the lift, Alessandra is there reciting a poem. It's really fucking weird.
Wonder.
Sorry,
I didn't hear that. That broke up.
just was noise.
That's
I think we
fair.
need to drop Discord a bit rate or something. Or down it. I don't know. It's a good tune.
It's a great tune. If you don't say anything, you just jump off. The lift will keep moving very slowly upwards.
Yeah, Luca will try the stop.
The lift will stop.
Okay, voice coming into the lift. That's
Oh, and that means
Right,
the elevator music stops too.
Aw.
Ah, hello! You're Alessandra's friends then? And this
Hello.
bust of a male human looks at you. There's not much else he can do. He can't blink. He can't nod.
Is it a statue or is it a...
It's just a bust. It's just the head and shoulders.
I'm imagining the bust from Art Attack.
that's a dated reference. I like it.
It can.
It's a cross between that bust and Bob the Skullball. Did you ever read
Oh, from
Dresden
Dresden
novels?
Yeah, Dresden Files. That was as soon as she was saying that it starts talking and reading romance literature. I'm like, it's
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah.
I will
Sorry.
sort a token for the next time we play.
Oh, can he be our new NPC? Alessandra will take him with us.
That's the thing you're
Yes.
going to adopt this campaign.
Other
He's,
than Graham.
Fuck off,
No,
Graham.
this
I'm having the bus
episode.
now.
he is sadly fused to the wall,
Oh,
but
that seems cruel.
but I guess you can try.
Okay.
Alton wouldn't be leaving without him if he were there.
Well done, you solved my tower puzzle.
Hooray!
Ray. And we got the lift music.
That was fun. I like the puzzle.
That was so fucking confusing when it came on the first time.
I thought something had opened itself. I was like, what is that?
Someone just had the worst ringtone. I
Yeah.
Or the best.
All the best, yeah, the best and the worst, in equal parts.
I do apologise that Alexander kept going off by himself and taking away group time.
Clearly having audio troubles, so I was quite trying to keep it fairly quiet.
It
I
felt
don't
like...
know if it,
Oh, carry on.
no, I don't know if it's us or Discord, but yeah, I couldn't understand pretty much everyone at one point or another except Veronica. She was fine, but everyone else was having moments. I think it might be Discord, not everyone.
Yeah.
I could hear everyone fine. Occasionally, there would be like a second lag, but not enough that I can figure out what people had said. You know, it was pretty good the whole time, but I don't. Obviously, everyone was having trouble with me, so I
You kind of
keep
talk
quiet.
like, but you know what I mean? That's kind of what you sound like to me. It's like you suddenly it glitches and then it goes really fast, like it's catching up. It's weird.
Yeah.
Is that what everyone else hears?
And it's just generally
So someone's
distorted.
they're running all the internet in the southwest, so they just
I heard something about Southwest and internet. Didn't get the rest. Sorry.
On
Don't know
the...
if we can change. So Veronica, you might find for the channel it's like allocated a server region. You might be worth checking if it's a region in the UK. It might be that it's in Europe or the States or something, which might be why it's glitching.
I do that.
I don't know. I just googled it, and that's what Discord help says. So go to server settings, overview. I don't know where server settings are, but
I've got it. I've got it.
Okay. I can't even see it. Oh, that's because it's not my server. Don't.
On the subject there of Alicante walking off on his own, the session, regardless, it feels like we got a lot done today. There was quite a few times when there was quite a few times where, like, post ramblings and everything, I'd look at the time and be like, oh, is it only that? I feel like we crammed a lot of
I felt
RP
like it took ages to get us out of Krezk, though.
Yeah.
Do we stay or do we go? Do we stay or do we go?
Yeah, it was hard to know what to do, really, wasn't it?
I was prepared for both.
Yeah.
Well, if we stayed, there might be trouble.
I'm sure whatever you were attempting to say, Tom, it was a valued contribution. What's going on? I don't see anything in overview that tells me where the server.
No, nor me. Yeah, I don't see anything. I'm having a look on my channel. I don't see anything.
I mean, you told me that when we used OBS instead of Discord the other day, the sound was a lot better. So maybe next time we just try OBS.
We can try it. Yeah. The only thing I noticed with that was if you watch the podcast, I'm lagging about a second behind my voice. Really weird, but no one else was, so that must be something to do with my setup. But the sound was okay. I didn't notice.
Everyone's lagging for me on stream, on Ninja, on video. I hope you understood that.
Yes.
So everyone's lagging for you on OBS Ninja.
Oh, okay. See, that's the thing. It's getting to some people and not to others, so that suggests it's not necessarily individual internets.
It was still funny, but I could interpret it. Decipher it. That's
it was translating for us. Translating from Goblin.
It's now become a thing where there's someone at work who refers to me as the mother of goblins.
Where did they get that idea from?
Maybe it was like this joining meetings every now and then. Maybe it's the fact that every now and then I act like a goblin. It's my friend who I stayed with for the work away day, so she has seen me just exist, and we know that's weird.
I think we need to change your name in the chat.
No, I think the name that we've got is appropriate for what I get called. There was another misspelling of Hazel. This one was with 2 A's. I don't think that's going to focus. But
No.
Hazal rather than Hazel. Not as good as Haydel.
It's
And
like
I've
a
told
wizard
you-
name. Huzzah!
Yeah, it's like I've had Haycel before and Hagcel, Hagsel. So yeah.
These are all future character names as far as I'm concerned.
The word Hazel doesn't exist in a lot of languages, so it's just got to be some weirdness. I know Zed's a funny letter. But yes, so I get referred to as the mother of goblins, which still makes me think of the first time we had food at V's house, and I crouched down when I first started eating, and she just looked at me and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm just eating. Just in goblin format.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I see you as the other mum of the group, so I can't. That implies to me that all the other boys are goblins, and they aren't.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'm the mother of these goblins. I think I have a separate brood of goblins.
I don't know.
They're all NPCs.
In a labyrinth
Yeah, you're like
sense,
the
I could
foster
imagine
mum of all
goblins.
NPCs.
Oh, there's too much talking then. So I am the foster mum of all NPCs. That seems true. Tom, what did you say?
I said in a labyrinth sense, like the film, I could see us all as the goblins in the labyrinth.
Yeah, I am the sexy David Bowie. I'm all for that. The sexual awakening of so many teenage girls.
Understand that
That's crazy.
reference now.
Yeah.
Whilst we're on that subject, guess who watched Ghostbusters yesterday?
Not V.
Yeah. Martin?
He was there.
Percy.
Did you watch it? I bet you hated it.
No, I enjoyed it. This is the issue when you don't. It was good fun, but I didn't understand why everyone loves Venkman, because watching it.
I don't love Venkman.
No, I don't like them.
No?
I don't love them.
Okay.
No.
I was just thinking about when in Stranger Things when the boys argue over being Venkman, and I spent the whole thing going,
Oh,
he's a
okay.
creep.
Yeah. That's so
Yeah,
true.
no.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. You're right. But they're kids. They probably don't get that he's a creep. When they're older, they'll be like, oh, he's a creep.
But other than that, yeah, it was good fun.
Good.
Good. Good. Right. Well done. I'm proud of you.
Sounds so condescending.
Have we discovered that there's a validation kink going on?
I feel
She's
so
so
warm and
happy.
fuzzy. What do you need me to watch next? I'll do it.
There's no rush for the second one, to be fair.
Shall we end the stream?
Yeah, I'll stop the stream. Any last words?
Thank you, Lunch Break Heroes, for the alternative tower, particularly Buster the Bust.
Bob the Skull.